749 career appearances, 141 international caps, 57 senior goals and 7 major trophies. Granit Xhaka has been knocking around for a while now, but in this moment he is absolutely bossing it for newly promoted Sunderland. The Swiss machine has been one of the best midfielders in the Premier League so far this season and has completely transformed the dominance within Sunderland's midfield core. He deserves his flowers, so let's discuss that. Now, the last time we saw Granit Xhaka in English football, he was still bossing it as a box-to-box, all-action asset for Arsenal's midfield, just in front of Thomas Partey, but next to Martin Odegaard. Since then, he's thrived under Xabi Alonso and had arrived in the northeast of England with a luxurious wealth of experience that is seemingly embedded in that young Sunderland dressing room. There's a case to be made that Granit Xhaka is still one of the best midfielders in Europe, despite playing for a newly promoted team. And when we gather up the numbers based off of this season and his performances, he's been absolutely ridiculous. These are leading numbers in 2 separate departments you are seeing for a midfielder in a newly promoted team. Normally, for a midfielder in a newly promoted team, it's all about duels, tackles, interceptions, but Granit Xhaka dominates both departments. At 33 years of age, he oozed class in that midfield battle at Stamford Bridge with a very dominant display. His touches were more limited due to Chelsea dominating the ball, but his contribution off the ball was as clear as day, dominant, deadly and as sharp as ever. And when we shuffle our way to a match where Sunderland shared much more of the ball, like they did versus Everton, his influence shined very brightly. 5 chances created, which was the most out of anyone on the pitch, 18 passes into the final third, 9 accurate long balls and imperious numbers when it came to the physical battle. So Sunderland have an extremely valuable asset that doesn't only contribute effectively to when they have lots of the ball, but also when they don't have much of the ball, proving him to be the perfect midfielder for Sunderland and whatever team they face. Now I'll discuss his qualities and how they impact Sunderland so positively later. The tactical analysis will come. But something slightly bigger than the tactical regime of the game is leadership, its knowledge, its experience, communication, and how that's applied to a team. Of course, leadership within a dressing room can be devalued if that player is no good, but Granit Xhaka offers everything a newly promoted team needs in order to survive and push on in the top division. In Sunderland's Monday night encounter with the Toffees, Labree's side had a tough start. The likes of Noah Siddiqui, Nordi Mukulele were rattled. The team wasn't holding on to the ball well whatsoever. Complacency was there for everyone to see. It was a very sluggish start, expected from a newly brought together team now and again, with most players being new signings and young players. But the answer for Sunderland amongst the early chaos was their captain, Granit Xhaka. Xhaka was the first to the scene to calm the frustrated Noah Siddiqui down, who just went flying into a challenge after not being awarded one himself. After Trey Hume placed a rash tackle on Jack Grealish, Xhaka was the first to the scene to protect Trey Hume in that instance and calm the Everton winger down. In a post-match interview after the game with Sky Sports, Xhaka identified the squad's training performance the day before as not our best training and reiterated, to win, to survive, to thrive at this level, you need to show the same standards day by day. So Granit Xhaka isn't only just a sterling footballer, but the experience and success he's gained over his career is being translated across to his teammates. He recognises the good, the bad and the ugly. He's there to push the team ambitiously forward, but also recognise himself what's not quite right. He's there to strengthen and elevate the mentality of this group and push them further than just a simple relegation fight. That 1-1 draw versus Everton was the best showcase of what Granit Xhaka is about nowadays, and we haven't even discussed the fact that he scored the crucial equalising goal to put Sunderland back on the playing field, to give them a point and to lift the mood of the stadium. he's stepped up. These are world-class, rare qualities that you just don't ever see in a newly promoted team. Xhaka is a difference maker, and I think if you remove the 33-year-old from Sunderland's success this season, they would be much lower down the table. It's as simple as that. But how does Granit Xhaka actually affect Sunderland on the pitch? Now, Sunderland shared major success against Chelsea in their last game using this 5-4-1 shape, and if you do want to have a look at Regis Labrie in a little bit more detail, in a little bit more tactical inspiration, then go ahead and check out on my channel. But today we are looking at Sunderland versus Everton and the importance of Granit Xhaka. Now, for me, the importance starts with Granit Xhaka on the ball to understand what he does off the ball. Now, of course, this game started very shakily for Sunderland, but once they fed into the game, once they calmed themselves down, they started piercing through Everton's 4-4-2 and started playing some really good football. And for me, the key with that is Granit Xhaka. Now, Sunderland's setup on the ball is very interesting. It's quite elaborate for a newly promoted team. A lot of newly promoted teams of the past, of course, tried to be quite elaborate and technical with the ball playing side of things, but Sunderland mix both departments very well because they can go long and they play quite short as well. So Sunderland's on the ball shape was matched with Everton's 4-4-2. Whenever Gertruda got the ball, that's when Barry would trigger the press. Whenever Ballard, it was Kieran Dewsbury, and whenever it was Mukiele, it was Grealish. But as you can see, Mukiele shifts very far wide across from the right centre-back role, mainly because he thrives in wider spaces. He's a mix between a centre-back and right-back. This allows Bertrand Traoré to hold width on this right-hand side, as the right-back, Trey Hume, slightly inverts a little bit more narrowly to take up this space here and occupy James Garner, which left a little bit more space for Siddiqui and Enzo Lafay dropping in. Now, the best thing about this Sunderland system is that Granit Xhaka holds this role. It means Sunderland can play quite fluidly and fluently with rotations, as Granit Xhaka is just there holding. He communicates to the players when they need to drop in. A player always looks to drop in. The main two players that do drop in is Noah Siddiqui next to Granit Xhaka or Enzo Lafay. But Granit Xhaka communicates to these players very, very well. They tell them sometimes, no, stay high, or tell them, yes, come and drop in, simply to create that double pivot. And it's very interesting that Sunderland do play with a single pivot here. A lot of newly promoted teams wouldn't risk that. A lot of teams in the Premier League overall wouldn't risk that. But with Xhaka's engine, athleticism, assurance, leadership, organisation, he actually allows Sunderland to push up the pitch a little bit, and it is amazing. Normally, a single pivot brings a little bit more exposure within this phase should there be a turnover, but Granit Xhaka is different, and he allows Sunderland to play so well. When Granit Xhaka gets the ball as well, he can be a simple recycler of the ball. He can be very calm in this department. But one of the best things about Xhaka is his passing range. Xhaka has the quality to pierce the balls through wherever he wants, but he also has the quality to hit long, direct balls, whether that's into the channel, whether that's into the striker, into the channels. He is absolutely fantastic. He is so well organised within this department. He's very comfortable receiving the ball to his feet with pressure oncoming, as we've seen many times now. He organises the pact. Should they lose the ball here, he's glued to 50-50s, he's glued to duels, so no worries, he's going to win them. But when Sunderland do look to attack, they do look to be quite aggressive. They often look for these wide overloads out wide. On this left hand side, you might have Ronaldo, Lafay, Gertruda, and you'd have Xhaka pushing up as well. This allows Sunderland to simply play through teams quite fast and quite aggressively. One of the best things about Xhaka as well is, particularly in the second half versus Everton, Sunderland looked to be really aggressive down this right hand side. Hume was forward, Traoré was forward, but so was Mukiele, making these darting, overlapping runs. The guy who was covering for those runs was Granit Xhaka. He allows Sunderland to be a little bit more aggressive, but also sustain pressure and sustain momentum. This provides an overriding sense of security because it allows everybody to play around him whilst also he thrives himself. When we push Sunderland a little bit further forwards and Everton a further back, then Granit Xhaka is allowed to get into these positions where ultimately he is such a threat. Yes, because he can shoot from afar. We've seen that at Arsenal, we've seen that at Leverkusen, and we saw that yesterday against Everton. But also because when the ball is cleared within this department, Xhaka can get there. Xhaka is aggressive. Xhaka can sustain pressure, sustain momentum, and allow Sunderland, a newly promoted team, not expected to have much of the ball, actually pin teams in. This allows Sunderland to attack more, to score more, and overall thrive and win more games. Instead of being a box crusher himself, which is what he was at Arsenal within that left half space, he's transformed into a much more mature role, which allows Sunderland to play in so many different aspects that they couldn't without him. There's an overriding sense of security and maturity that Granit Xhaka brings to this team. When Sunderland are really pushing for a goal with so many players forward, they really are looking to overload the box, Granit Xhaka allows to cover for that. He is the heartbeat of this team, and quite simply you'd see Sunderland's form and run stagger if Granit Xhaka was injured. Thank you for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, feel free to smash a like and subscribe to the channel. Where do you think Sunderland are going to finish this season, and how good has Granit Xhaka been? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.